Hey hair besties, here's my hair before I colored it. I have a lot of gray throughout my naturally light colored hair. And what I like to normally do is just add as much blonde as possible. And today we're gonna be also attempting to add it in the back. Now here's the lightener that I'm using, L'Oreal lightener, of course. Here it is all mixed up. You want to make sure it's a really good consistency for your lightener. If you have any questions about lightener, please drop it in the comments below. I'm happy to answer any questions you guys have about coloring your own hair. It doesn't have to be related to this video. I'm also using a Majorelle low light here, and I'm going to be doing a bit of a copper colored low light. If you notice there, I had a bit of a 5N, that's natural. I put a little bit of that in my color, and that helps keep it from going too orange. Now I'm just mixing my color, and it's time to start applying. So the biggest thing about applying hair color to your own hair is that you want to be able to apply it as quickly as possible. So you really want to kind of make a game plan. Here you see me kind of mapping out and deciding what I can actually achieve before starting. And in the back, I'm weaving my highlights. I'm doing that because I realize I'm probably going to make some mistakes. It's not going to be perfect. And weaving will at least help hide those mistakes potentially. It's really hard to see the back of your head. Of course, you can't without a mirror. And then when you get the mirror out, everything is backwards. So it's just difficult. I think from memory, it took me like 20 minutes just to get these first 3 foils in the very back. And that was just because I didn't want to make any mistakes. You're going to make mistakes when you're coloring your own hair. It happens, but less is more. So you always want to make sure that if you think you've made a mistake, don't keep going. Like just stop, reassess. If you've made a mistake and you're trying to fix it, maybe just don't. Maybe just leave that mistake. Maybe it's better off left. For instance, like one mistake you can make is bleeding foils. So that's where you get some of the color outside of the foil. I definitely did that a little bit in the back here a couple times, just because everything was all backwards and hard to see. And I experienced a little bit of bleeding foil. Now, when I went to go tone my hair, it blends it all in very nicely. You can't even really tell that it's that the foil bled. And yeah, so if you guys have any questions about foiling your hair, again, please put it in the comments. Here I'm using my mirror and trying to flip my brain around so that I can paint using the mirrors on the foil. So like I said, it is very tedious work and it is very hard. I don't actually normally foil the back of my head at all, but as you could see earlier on in the video, that's why the back of my head is in such a state and really needed some hair color. If you were live with me while I was doing this, you would have saw that I just simply can't afford to get my hair colored in the salon right now. Yes, I own my own salon, and yes, I am a hairstylist, but it's very hard to color our own hair. Unfortunately, I'm just in the position where I have to color my own hair right now. And so I thought I might as well come online and do it in front of everyone so that they can see how I do it. And maybe they can do it themselves also if you're in a position where you need to save some money, or maybe you're just really interested in hair. Like I know when I was younger, I was really interested in hair. I really liked to color my own hair. And I liked to do a good job of it. I used to buy foil and all that stuff. So these videos are for people who are capable of doing their own hair or their friend's hair and might have some questions. So first foils here, like I said, taking me forever. You really want to make sure that you get the foils fully saturated with the lightener. Really saturated, but not oversaturated. There is a fine line there. If you oversaturate your foil, then you'll end up with a mess also. But if you don't put enough lightener on, then you'll end up with foils that just don't get light enough or even. I'm doing a bit of a money piece sectioning now. As you can see, I did a little bit of an angle in the front and just coloring the front piece here. This is my money piece in the very front. And for this, I'm doing blonde, and then you'll see I'm gonna start incorporating the copper. So the next foil I put in here is going to be with my copper color. The copper is just a really nice way to add some fun in your hair. I actually recently was thinking of dyeing my whole head copper. I might do it in the future, but I'm just not ready for the commitment of a full head dye yet. Foils are a lot less maintenance, and that's why a lot of people are going for foils, and a lot of people are going for like the lived-in look where it's it already looks like you've had it blonde for a while and it's kind of like rooted and coming in. I actually decided with my color here to just go straight to the root with all the foils. And the reason I did that is because I'm doing them fine enough that I know as they grow out, it's actually gonna look like a lived-in look. So I prefer to do my lived-in looks like that, like start out with it mostly right to the root, nice and bright, and let it grow out into more of a lived-in look. That's my preference. I just find that it's almost like you get two hairstyles that way in one go, right? Because it's like you color your hair, it's nice and fresh and bright into the root. And if it's placed properly and the sections are fine enough as it grows out, it just looks like that lived-in blonde look. You will, of course, if you go about it that way, need it to be retoned at the time when you would need your hair done again. So you won't need to do more foils if you go about it this way necessarily, but you would want to retone it. What I will probably end up doing in about 2 months from now is a couple of highlights in the front and retoning it. I'm kind of enjoying doing this live though, guys. I do go live and color my hair, so I don't know. I might do it again. I might do it sooner, okay? So just so that you guys can see. Maybe I'll do it in a couple of weeks. Do make sure you subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications so that when I go live coloring or styling my hair, you can pop on and hang out with me. I'm here to answer any questions that you have about your hair. And I just like people to hang out with me. So yeah, pop on and come hang out. Now, I'm just doing the other side here. Started with some blonde, then doing a copper foil. I have this video sped up a little bit. It's about 5 times the speed, just so that, you guys can see me get this done in a reasonable amount of time. I think it took me about an hour to apply the full color, or just over an hour to apply everything. And once it was all on here, then I let it sit for 35 minutes and then I rinse it and tone. Here's another copper piece. So I'm adding quite a bit of copper just around the face. Didn't do any copper in the back. I only want to see it around my face, really. I like the way that the copper looks with my eyes. My eyes are blue, and that's why I've decided to add in some copper. The idea of going copper all over is great. I love the idea of it, but it is a lot of maintenance because copper does fade pretty good. It's one of the first colors to fade and kind of lose the vibrancy, any red or copper. So that's why I haven't done the all over color yet. Now, I packed in as many foils as I could around the front here. It got a lot easier as I got to the front, and I'm just slicing all the foils in the front because I just want it to be nice and light and bright as possible and really dimensional. And on the top here, I'm just going to be adding some slices along the top, and that way I'll look nice and bright on top. I did only do blonde on top. I decided against doing any copper on top. And the reason I did that was just for like the grow out and the longevity of the hairstyle. So I just know that copper doesn't fade the most elegantly. It tends to look pretty wishy-washy and not vibrant after a little while. So by putting the copper underneath, when it gets to that point, I will hopefully not be very annoyed or bothered by that. I'll still have my nice bright blonde on top, which I can easily tone if I need to brighten it up again at any point. Okay, so now we're just at the point where I'm just flying through this. It's easy peasy. I'm filling it up with foils along my center part at the top. When you're doing foils, you want to leave a piece of natural hair between each foil, and the finer the piece of hair and the finer the foil you can do, I do think you'll have a better result at home. As a professional, I can take a thicker piece of foil, but I know how to fully saturate that hair. If you're doing it at home and you're not a professional, it's very easy to undersaturate the hair and end up with a color that's just not that nice, not that vibrant, or not that even. So you're better off to just take fine sections. And trust me, if you're not a professional, your idea of a fine section is probably not even that fine. So yeah, just take fine sections. Trust me, unless you're going for like a chunky look or something, but in that case, maybe leave me a comment or something and let's chat about it so I can give you a better plan of execution. So yeah, here I'm just foiling away. It is something, foiling your hair is something you can do at home, but I really caution you guys about using box dye, or anything like in a box that says it's blonde. Don't bother, because yeah, I have used plenty of box dyes in my day. Like I said, I have colored my own hair many times. I have been coloring my hair like my whole entire life since I started getting my hair colored. And I have used plenty of box colors, and honestly guys, every single blonde will always give you hot roots. It's the developer used in the boxes is so hard on the hair and damaging. You're really risking having cotton candy hair and giving yourself a chemical haircut. You just don't want to use a box color, whether it's brown or blonde at all. Another thing is like box color reds and coppers. Again, you're going to get a hot root most likely. A hot root is where the roots of your hair, like the first inch or so, looks like really bright and then the ends look more dull. And when that happens, it just looks really wrong. It's really unprofessional. If you are in this unfortunate situation and your hair looks like that right now, you can leave a comment. I can give you some advice on how you can fix it yourself at home. Yeah. So I'm here to help. Like I said, comments below, ask me any questions you have. Make sure you subscribe to my channel so we can stay hair besties. In the video now, I was going live, so here I am like talking to the live camera on the other side. And yeah, I decided to just stop there. As much as I wanted to add more in at this point, I realized that I had a lot of foil in my head. It was getting hard to navigate around it. And so it was time to stop. And I think I was saying on the live at this point that you can always add more color. Like you can always do it again. So if you do your hair and you don't have enough, you can always do it again. Here's what I'm toning my hair with. It is got some purple in it, but the purple is really just to counteract the yellow. So I'm toning my hair with DIYHairColor. It's made by L'Oreal Professional. And mixing some colors that have some purple undertones to them. I don't expect my hair to go purple. I just expect the purple in the color to counteract the yellow in my hair to give me a softer, less brassy, fresh and shiny blonde. So here I am just mixing it all up. And then, yeah, when it's all done mixing and my hair has sat for long enough, then we will go and rinse my hair together. Here is my toner. And with the Dia colors, you just shake them to mix them. And same with the Majorelle colors. I really like that. So you get this like nifty little shaker, and you don't need a scale or anything. It actually has markers on the side of the cup here and markers on the side of the color. So it tells me how much to put in if I want to mix up half a tube or a full tube or a quarter tube. Now, professional hair color is typically only for hairstylists, but there is some like semi-professional hair color. And honestly, guys, there is some professional hair color that is available to the general public, depending on where you live and what stores are available to you. Sally's is a store that sells semi-professional hair color. You know, it's not typically hair color that I would use in the salon, but if someone's coloring their hair at home, I would much rather they go to Sally's and get a color they can actually mix together and know what they're putting on their hair, as opposed to going and grabbing a box dye that just says that you're going to end up with this color, right? Because we all know how that goes. This doesn't typically actually end up the right color. So my foils at this point are just processing, and here I am taking a little look. And I guess by this point, actually, my foils must be done processing because I'm about to start taking out the foils. So if you have foils in your head, you can take them out just sitting up just like this. Don't worry. Just take them out and then go rinse your hair. It's no big deal. I'm just going to fast forward this a little bit for you guys too, so I don't bore you too much. So yeah, here I am taking up my foils just one at a time. Take them all out. The less folds you put in your foils, the easier they are to take out, but you want to make sure that the foil is also not disrupting your view while you're doing your hair. So here's my foils, and I'm going to be shampooing my hair with my Metal Detox shampoo and also using my Metal Detox mask because this stuff is wonderful. If you haven't tried it already, it is available to use at home, and I highly recommend that product. So here I am just rinsing my color. This part, you have to be so careful, guys. I have bleach on my head and I am rinsing it, so I need to be so careful not to get it in my eyes. If you need a towel or someone to help you, please make sure you're going to do this part safely. I'm a trained professional, so I can just do it myself and I won't get it in my eyes, but you really don't want to risk that. I don't know how bad that could possibly be because I'm not a doctor, but you don't want bleach in your eyes, I am sure of it, or hair color. So you just want to, when you're rinsing blonde, you want to make sure you get all of the lightener off your hair before you give it a shampoo, at least the best of your ability. And when you do shampoo it, you want to make sure that you're giving it a really good scrub. All right, guys, I've sped this video up for you again because it can be kind of boring going through the whole process. But I do this live. Like I said, make sure you subscribe, turn on notifications, because next time I color my hair, I'll be doing it live, and you can actually come and hang out while I do it live and ask me any questions in the moment. So there, I just gave my hair a really good shampoo, and now I'm just rinsing out the shampoo, and you're about to see the hair color. I'll come up and give you a look. So there we go. It looks pretty basic, kind of novice. That's because it's not toned. And here is my toner. And my toner, again, with that purpley tone to it so that it can counteract all this yellow going on in my hair right now. And don't worry if you get your toner on your natural color or your Lowlights, because if you have an actual toner, it won't do anything to your natural and it won't do anything to your Lowlights. You can just slap it all over and it will only affect the parts that are actually pre-lightened to blonde. So here I put it all on my roots. All right, just sped up the video again because it keeps on slowing down on me. Okay, so here I am applying the toner to my roots. I always like to start with the roots. It just it's easier to get it on the ends. If you put it on the ends first, it's hard to get back into the root area. So yeah, if I'm coloring my own hair, I always do roots first and then I saturate the ends. What I ended up noticing with this was that my ends didn't feel like totally saturated. And when I did look in the mirror for a moment, the ends looked like they needed some more ash. Like the purple just wasn't cutting it. It wasn't making it ashy enough. So I had a look at it and I ultimately decided that it was time to add a little bit more toner. So I didn't show you guys, but I did mix up some ashy level 9 and I put it on the ends there. And that just really helped me saturate the hair and it ashed it out some more to match the roots. So if you guys have any toner questions, like anything else, please put it in the comments below. Happy to answer any questions that you have. Now here I am rinsing the toner, and again, you need to be really safe, just like anything else. The toner is still a color, It's still chemical, and you need to make sure you don't get any in your eyes. So once I rinsed out my toner, I did give my hair a really quick shampoo. It's not really necessary, I just like to do that. And then I also finished off with the Metal Detox Mask, which I'm just running through my hair here. This mask is really beautiful. It just makes your hair feel great. It also helps to have your hair color last you longer. So it's like it adds a little bit of a barrier on the hair so that you're not going to get more deposit put on your hair, because our hair can get deposit from even like our hair serums. Some hair serums that are a bit yellowy can make your hair look yellowy. So guys, here's the color. As you can see, it looks much better now. I maybe don't look the greatest, but the hair color is looking much better than it was when I originally sat down here and it was so yellowy looking. Hey guys, so this is my hair results. It's been a couple days. I haven't had a chance to do the after shots. So I am overall really happy with this result. You can see a little bit of the copper in the very front, like just faintly there, but I like that it's just faint. And then if I pull my hair back or curl it, it pops out some more. There's a decent amount of copper in there. And it's a really nice natural looking copper, which I really like. And I love that I did not put any copper on top, because it just looks really nice and blended, and it's gonna grow out really nice because I don't have copper on top, like really low commitment. I'm not gonna feel the need to refresh the copper. And yeah, I'm really happy. Let me see if I can show you guys the back, because it was so dark back there. And all I did was 3 foils back there. And then I took this back as far as I could on top. And yeah, I'm nice and bright. I'm pretty happy with the result. What do you guys think?